Peace and blessings, everyone. Welcome to the Humble Servant Homestead, guys. Today, I am out here down by the orchard where we have all of our fruit trees planted, guys. And so today, I am out here to do a little bit of pruning. Now, this pruning here, I should have done it back in the middle of January. So right now, we are in February the 8th, guys, and I want to come on out here and prune these fruit trees. Now, if you all remember last year when we pruned this particular tree right here, this is actually a peach tree that we pruned last year, and ever since then, guys, this tree have a whole bunch of new growth. And so I want to come on in and take care of the pruning on this tree here. Now we are in grow zone 8A, and so guys, right now it is about 72 degrees outside, and I just have a feeling if the weather stays the same and keep on doing what it is doing, um, these trees will go ahead and wake up. And so right now I just want to go ahead and prune them before it do that. Now what you all have to understand is that a lot of the energy right now is down in the root of those trees, and so that is why they are dormant, guys. But once they get the right weather, the right temperature, these trees will start to awake. And so we don't want to wait till in the springtime to prune our trees. Simple reason why, wherever you make those fresh cuts, guys, you will end up having a whole bunch of new growth, because once you make that cut, it stimulates this tree to go ahead and start putting on new shoots. And so that's the reason why you guys want to go ahead, or I want to go ahead and prune this tree before spring gets here. Now, if you all remember this tree last year, guys, um, it was a real small tree. It was very small, but over the springtime, the winter time, and through the fall, it have grown so much. And so today, I want to come on and clean this tree up. Now, a lot of these limbs that you see here on the inside of this tree right here, I want to go ahead and leave some of them, especially these branches right here. These branches right at about a year old branch. And so these branch, I am going to leave them. Simply reason why I am going to go ahead and come on in and air layer quite a bit of these branch. So this branch and this branch, even this branch right here. So it's at least about 5 branches on this tree that I'm going to air layer, guys. Now, the reason for that is I can go ahead and have more fruit trees here on the homestead, guys. Okay, so no further ado, what we're going to go ahead and do is start pruning this tree. Now, what I want you all to go ahead and do, guys, is just to stick with me, come along with me, and I am going to go ahead and open up this tree right here. Now, one of the reasons for pruning these trees right here is pretty much you want to train these trees the way how you want them to grow, not just leaving them to grow to themselves. Sometimes what can happen, limbs can grow crazy, can grow too tall. You're not being able to reach your fruits. When it's time to harvest, you will have to get a stick and pick your fruits. Okay, so right now, there is a lot of different little limbs, new limbs growing up on the inside of this tree. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do is come on in and take them out. Now, the reason why I'm taking these limb out on the inside of this tree is pretty much to open this tree on up, so that way we can have good sunlight penetration on the inside of this tree, and even also to let in some airflow. All right, and so I'm just taking them on out, and there is certain limbs that I'm going to leave, And so once I get to those limbs, I'll kind of explain a little reason why we leave some of these limbs here, guys. Okay, all right. And so now it's just um, making that decision of what you want to prune off, and it's pretty much any limbs that look um, real puny, or even looks like it's not going to do anything. And so those are the ones that you want to kind of take off. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and bring you all in a bit closer, just to kind of show you all what it is that I'm doing right now. Okay, and so if y'all can see right here, we're pretty much, we have a couple of little small limbs or small branches or whatever you want to call them that is shooting, that is just real small and puny. Those we want to go ahead and take those on out. And so even this branch right here that is growing in towards the canopy of this tree, we want to take that out because we want that sunlight to be able to penetrate in on these on the inside of these trees. And also these ones, as I'm pruning them, I want to cut them real close to this scaffolding branch right here. You want to cut them real close. Now the reason for that is you don't want to leave any little knobs right here when you're pruning limbs. Now we'll talk a little bit about when you want to leave these on here, so just stay tuned, guys. Okay, and so you want to cut them real close. They're just like that right there. And with you cutting them, with you cutting them at this time of the year, what will happen? These cuts that you're making will heal over by time spring gets here, and you shouldn't have any new growth coming from out of these spots right here. And that is why it is important to prune your fruit trees in the winter time, even though it feels like spring out here. Okay, and so any limbs that is also growing underneath the canopy, you want to go ahead and take those out as well. So like this one right here, guys, is growing up inside of the canopy. What we're really looking for is more so a lot of those lateral branches that is growing out. And so those are what we're looking for. And so as I am pruning and coming out, more so where a lot of the limbs are on this tree right here, um, there is a couple of decisions that has to be made out here, but it's all up to you about what decision you are making as far as limbs that you want to go ahead and keep, guys. Okay, so like this little branch right here that is growing straight vertically, this one we're going to go ahead and take that one on out. All right, and so this one, like I said, I am going to be coming in to ear layer some of these limbs, and so this one I will be leaving that to come on in and ear layer. All right, and so another thing is, guys, with a lot of these limbs right here, you have buds on these limbs right here. You have the leafing buds and also fruiting buds that is on here. And so as the spring come out on these trees start to flower and they put on the fruit. Now if there is too much fruit out on these limbs, what you can also do is you can come on and select what fruit you want to keep and which one you want to go ahead and take off of these trees, because simply these trees, they're still young and you don't want them to be overbearing with fruits, which can cause some of your limbs to snap from all that weight. And so you want to also keep an eye out for that right there, guys. Okay. So what I'm going to go ahead and do right now, like I said, keeping this limb right here as well, I'm gonna go ahead and uh, take that one out. Okay. Take that one out as well. And so pretty much any limbs that is also crossing over on one another, those are also limbs that you want to take on out as well, as you go. So you pretty much you stepping back and you're looking at certain limbs that is crossing over. Okay, you're gonna say that is gonna be one I'm taking out. Sometime it's a decision that you be like, should I take that one out? Should I take this one out? But with you pruning this tree as well, guys, once this root wake up and they start putting out the foliage and all that, the less limbs that you have that is not going to do much for you, and you take those out, that is more energy that will be able to go into the fruits as well. All right. And so what I want to go ahead and do is pretty much um, do pretty much go ahead and do a couple of heading cut. And the reason for those heading cut is because these limbs right here is pretty much they are shooting up too high. And so we don't want them to go too high, guys, where we can't reach the fruit. So come on along. Let me go ahead and take you all on that one there. Okay. And so if y'all can see how high up we have those limbs done grew, what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and cut those limbs back to a certain distance, guys, and also prune them a little bit. Now what will happen once we even make that cut right there, those little knobs that is on that branch will go ahead and send out shoots to the side. And so I am going to make sure I cut where that it is putting branches on the going out and not up, okay, because we don't want any more of those to go any taller. These is already tall enough. Okay, guys, and so what I am going to do, I'm just going to simply go ahead and pull this branch down and make that cut right there. All right, so if you see this branch right here, it's pretty much split off into a V. Don't know if y'all can see that. And so I'm at that point right now where that I am going to make a decision which one of these limbs that I am going to keep. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now, this limb that is growing underneath, I am going to go ahead and cut the limb that's growing underneath. Okay, now right here, there is a little knob right here, and I am going to go ahead and cut below that knob. Simple reason why, guys, I don't want any more shoots to come out from where I'm making this cut right here. All right, I pray that I am clear. All right, so I'm going to make that cut right there. All right, and so what I'm going to do now, I am going to pull this limb on down, and I am going to pretty much make a heading cut. And me making this heading cut right here will pretty much stop this tree or stop this limb from growing any taller. Okay, all right, and so what I'm about to do now is make that heading cut, and I'm also looking for knobs that is going to the side. Those are the knobs that I'm looking for, and so I'm just checking, and I see where I want to cut it at, because you have a knob going here and you have one going there, and so I'm going to make that cut right here. Now you want to make that cut a little bit above that knob right there, and also cutting it at an angle so that whenever the rainfall or anything like that, it can run off and not sitting it on there and, you know, rotting out that where you make that cut. Even though you want to leave a little bit as well, because as this right here dry back, you don't want it to dry back into that knob that is coming out. Okay, just like that right there. Don't know if y'all can see that where I made that cut. All right, and so on this limb that I just made that cut, guys, there is another limb right here that is growing on the inside. This one I'm going to go ahead and take that limb on out, and you got one that is growing coming underneath. I'm going to take that one out as well, and so that's pretty much it. Now, hey, that is it right there. All right, and so also have another one that is growing underneath. Okay, guys, and so that is what I'm going to pretty much go ahead and do. So just stay tuned real quick. Let me go ahead and clean this tree on up some more, and I'll bring you all in and show you all a little bit more on this tree right here once I get it cleaned up, guys. Okay, and so that is pretty much it. I don't know if this camera is doing much justice on what I've just pruned off of this peach tree right here, guys, but you know, nonetheless, just go ahead and, you know, get y'all trees pruned up. You know, some people may live in different areas where that their tree already start waking up. Sometime if you go in and start pruning, what will happen, like I said, you will have a lot of new growth. Okay, and so that is pretty much it. Like I said, these limbs right here need to come out as well, guys, but because I want to add more fruit trees here on the homestead, these ones I am not going to cut these on out. But just stay tuned with us, stick around with us, and as even when we cut these out, you will able to see what it is that we did here. Now, like I said, these trees, they're in the stage or in that process of where I am training them. Okay, now there's quite a bit of different ways and different methods of how you can go about training your trees. Of course, that is comes with pruning, and even also if you see these string right here, guys, I believe I did a demonstration in my other pruning video that I did last year. And so a lot of even these scaffolding limbs that is going pretty much laterally is those limbs that I decide I want to go ahead and keep because I don't want them to go straight. I don't want them to grow vertically. So what I went ahead and did, I come on in with a string right here, and I pretty much went ahead, put some stake down into the ground, and pretty much tie my string onto the tree and stretch those limbs pretty much to the angle that I want them, and I went ahead and tied them off into the ground, guys. And so also what I went ahead and did, don't know if you can see this right here, this is pretty much a piece of hose, a water hose that we went ahead and cut and run the string through it. Now the reason for that is, guys, last year when I came in and I was pruning these limbs when they was a little bit smaller, as that limb grow, what happened if you don't have that and have a little bit of gap in between your string, it will simply start to cut the life off of this tree. As you can see, I had to come on down and cut that string from out of the tree because the tree was starting to grow around the string, and you don't want that, okay? Because what will happen, if you see right here, is the same thing that happened where this was a limb, a scaffolding limb that I was going to go ahead and keep, and the string pretty much cut into the tree, and I end up losing that limb right here. So now I have another little piece of limb that's growing on here that I want to go ahead and keep to take up the space where this limb was going to be. All right, guys, and so what I'm going to go ahead and do right now is just pretty much kind of walk you guys around, just to kind of show you some of the trees them that I've been training, I've been pruning, so you can get a bit of idea of what's going on here on the homestead. Okay, and so if y'all can see right here, this right here is a nectarine tree that we are pretty much training as well. Now if y'all can see, a lot of these string that is on this tree, pretty much training the limbs them how I want them to grow. Now there is a bit more pruning that I have to come on in and do with this one right here. Like I said, some of these limbs right here, I will be keeping them for more fruit trees on the homestead, guys. All right, and so I want to take y'all up here real quick where I have a plum tree. And so right here is where I have a plum tree, and as y'all can see, I cut the heart of this plum tree on out and pretty much training those limbs. So if y'all can kind of look and maybe just get a bit of idea of pretty much if that's the way how you want to prune your fruit trees, you can go ahead and duplicate that on your property, on your homestead. Okay, now right here is another plum tree that I need to come on in and prune today. Now what I will do once I prune this tree, I will come on in and kind of give you all a picture of what it's looking like once I'm done pruning it. So just go ahead and take a look at it. So this would be before, and just stick around for the after picture once I'm done, guys. All right, so another thing what I want to go ahead and do as well, I want to go ahead and show you guys a couple of apple trees and what it is that I did with these apple trees as well, because sometime when you buy those apple trees, and real quick, I'm stopping here, is a pear tree, guys, and if y'all can see, look right here, it is already starting to bud out, and I am praying that these trees will survive, because winter is not done yet. All right, okay, and so right here is a apple tree that I had planted over the fall, or even in the winter time. I came out and plant trees all time around through the year. And so this is an apple tree that I planted, and I had to come on in and make a cut on this apple tree. Simple reason why: this tree was growing straight up, and because I don't want it to go any further and I want to train it while it is small, what I did, I pretty much came on in and did a head and cut on this fruit tree right here, guys. And so that is what you're looking at right there. All right, so stay tuned. I'm going to go ahead and prune up that plum tree right now. Stay tuned for the after picture. Okay, and so here we are with the plum tree that I've just got through pruning, guys. Now, like I said, I am leaving limbs that I will be ear layering, so I leave about 3 limbs on here that I will be ear layering. But as y'all can see, that tree is a bit cleaned up, and so right here, if y'all can see right here, guys, I also had a limb that I wanted to go ahead and keep. It was a bit close to another limb that I had, and I used this limb or this branch right here to go ahead and space it on out to the distance that I want it. All right, so right over here, I'm just going to talk a little bit about it. I'm not going to do any pruning. Well, I'm going to prune it today, but I'm going to talk about this peach tree right here, guys. And so this was given to me by a sister, and I just want to say, hey, thank you for this peach tree. It is growing really well. I like the way how it is growing. And not only that, this peach tree, I don't know if it's a dwarf peach tree or what, but um, it is the height of it is not growing too tall. It's not growing like my other peach tree. And I like the dwarf if that's what it is. I like it just the way how it is. I'm going to come on in and prune. Now there's a lot of limbs on here that I am also going to go ahead and keep on this tree because I like it. The fact that it's staying small. You know, of course I am pruning it and I am training it, but I like the way how it is growing. Now I do see where that is like a lot of fruit buds on this tree right here. And right here is right about where all your fruit buds is going to be coming out from. So this limb is right at about 2 years old now. And so that's where a lot of your fruit buds will be coming out from. Now a lot of your leafing buds would be coming out off those 1 year old uh, limbs or 1 year wood or whatever like that. Okay, so guys, I just want to say thank you, a big thank you for this peach tree. You know, we're thankful. Thank you. Okay. And yes, once you start getting peach off of it, you will get your bowl of peach cobbler as well. And so, nonetheless, guys, that is pretty much it right there. Like I said, go ahead and prune your fruit trees, especially if it's newer fruit trees that you just planted. Go ahead and prune them. Just there's plenty of videos out there that you can even watch on how to prune. If mine was not all the way helpful to yours, go ahead, check out some other videos on how to prune your trees, because it's better for you to train those trees while they're young than for you to be trying to train them when they're fully grown. Just like the words say, you train a child when the way that it shall go, and when it get old, it will not depart from those training. So just go ahead and um, train those trees while they're young, guys. All right. And so that is pretty much it right there. I just wanted to come in real quick to just let y'all know, if you got fruit trees or orchard, go ahead and you know go ahead, put some hands on those trees and prune them up. All right, guys, so that is pretty much it right there. I just want to say thanks to each and every one of you all out there for stopping by the Humble Servant Homestead. And as always, peace and blessings to each and every one of you all out there. And just remember, guys, keep a smile on your face. You be happy, be cheerful, and that smile on your face will also helps to bring smile on somebody else's face, guys. I just want to say, y'all take care, y'all be blessed. Many blessings coming from here to each and every one of you all that are hearing this voice, hearing my voice right now. Y'all be blessed, guys. All right, and stay strong and stay motivated. Like I say, spring is coming. Get yourself together, get outside, go ahead and grow something. All right. Just want to say peace and blessings to each and every one of you all out there. Have a blessed day.